Well, as temperatures soar during the summer months, our pets are at greater risk of heat-related illnesses. From heat stroke to dehydration, the dangers are real but preventable. Today, we are joined by Kelly Gebhardt with Happy Tails Veterinarian Emergency Clinic to talk about how to keep your pets safe when you go outdoors in the extreme heat and the hot summer months. So let's start here. What are signs of heat stroke in pets?
Thank you so much for having me. This is such an important topic because we've been seeing so many complications from heat-related illness in pets this week in particular. In dogs, when they're out walking, if they're excessively panting, drooling, weakness, collapse, those are some of the main things that you see. But by the time you've gotten there, you've already gotten too far in their overheating process.
Goodness. Yeah, absolutely. And what are some of the signs of heat stroke in pets? What kind of symptoms do they begin to show?
Right, so the weakness, panting, collapse, really red injected gums. By the time we often see them, they're already collapsed. And then the complications from heat stroke can be potentially fatal, right? So there are some things that are very important to do if you think your pet has suffered heat stroke, and I think we'll talk in a second about how to avoid that. But if you think your pet has gotten overheated, the most important thing to do is get them out of the heat and get them, cool them off with cool water, not cold water from a hose, but cool water, and seek veterinary care immediately. The prognosis for survival with heat stroke is much better if a pet owner can seek veterinary care within 90 minutes of the heat stroke event. The mortality increases dramatically if they cannot get care within 90 minutes. So getting to a vet as soon as possible is very important. So cool with cool water, not cold, get to a vet as soon as possible.
And this is such an important conversation. You all have seen an impact at Happy Tails when it comes to the heat. Kind of talk about what you all just recently saw with some of your pets.
Yeah, unfortunately, in the past 2 days, we've had 3 dogs that have died or been euthanized due to complications from heat stroke. It's just so severe. We also see a lot of dogs that go running on the hot pavement and just denude or slough off the bottom of their paws, all 4 paws. And it just takes a block. They can just be running on the hot pavement for a block and off comes their paw pads. And that's a really long and kind of extensive healing process. And some of the things that are just so important to think about with heat stroke is avoiding hot times of day. So if you want to take your dog out for a little walk during the summer, do it early in the morning before the heat starts or late at night after, when the sun is starting to set. Avoid those hot times of day. It only takes a very short period of time for dogs to overheat from exercise. So no running in the heat, no playing ball, no long walks during the day. Keep them off the hot pavement. Dogs that are increased risk of complications from heat stroke include short-faced dogs like brachycephalic breeds like Boston Terriers, Bulldogs, those types of dogs. Old dogs, young dogs, overweight dogs, dogs with heart problems or lung problems. These dogs have a much lower tolerance for heat than other dogs.
And as someone who works very closely with pets and you hear about incidents, that happen with certain pets, whether they're cats, dogs, what runs through your head when you hear about these tragic incidents?
It really just crushes your heart. It's so sad because an owner takes the dog for a walk and they're doing something that they think the dog will enjoy because they love them, but ultimately it ends up causing an overheating, and it's just devastating for the family. It's devastating for everyone involved. So making sure that everyone is aware of the potential effects of heat stroke and the good times of day to take your pets out for a little bit of a walk during the cool times of morning or evening, avoiding hot times of day. Even if you think, oh, I'm just going to take my dog out and let him run in the pond or the lake or something, they still can't handle the heat. Imagine going out for a walk on a 100-degree day dressed in your warmest snowsuit with a toboggan and gloves and asking yourself to do what you're asking your dog to do. And the dogs don't have an off switch. They say, oh, mom and dad, they want me to do this. I'm having a great time. I'm going to keep going. So it's our job to keep them safe and set appropriate boundaries and limitations and find out how can I bring them joy in a safe way.
Absolutely. They're really trusting, whoever the caregiver is to make sure that they are safe. So thank you so much for this conversation. It's truly important.